Ever wonder how a small island nation held off a continent-spanning empire during World War II? A big part of the answer flew in the skies above today. We're diving into the incredible story of the British aircraft that not only defended their homeland but took the fight directly to the enemy. From the iconic fighters that ruled the daytime skies to the heavy bombers that reshaped the war at night, British aviation was a testament to innovation, courage, and sheer resilience. Let's start with the legends, the fighters. When you think of British World War II aircraft, one name probably comes to mind, the Supermarine Spitfire. It's one of the most beautiful planes ever built, but it was much more than a pretty face. Its elliptical wings gave it incredible agility and speed, making it a nightmare for enemy pilots. First introduced in 1938, the Spitfire was constantly upgraded with more powerful engines and heavier guns, keeping it at the cutting edge of fighter technology throughout the entire war. But the Spitfire had a partner, a rugged workhorse called the Hurricane. While the Spitfire often gets the glory, the Hurricane was the unsung hero of the Battle of Britain. Its sturdy construction meant it could take a real beating and still bring its pilot home safely. In fact, during that critical battle, Hurricanes were responsible for shooting down more enemy planes than all other defenses combined. Both the Spitfire and Hurricane started with 8 machine guns, but later models were fitted with powerful cannons to punch through the armor of German bombers and fighters. Together, they formed the backbone of Britain's air defense, a deadly duo that saved the nation in its darkest hour. Now, let's talk about taking the fight to the enemy. Britain's offensive strategy relied heavily on its bomber fleet, which aimed to cripple German industry and morale. The undisputed king of the night sky was the Avro Lancaster. This 4-engine heavy bomber was a true giant, famous for its ability to carry colossal bomb loads deep into enemy territory. It became a symbol of the strategic bombing campaign and is most famously remembered for the daring Dambusters raid, where Lancasters used specialized bouncing bombs to destroy German dams. Another key player was the Halifax. It was a versatile and reliable heavy bomber that flew countless night missions over Europe, often alongside the Lancaster. It also played vital roles in maritime patrol and even dropped supplies to resistance fighters. In the early days of the war, medium bombers like the Bristol Blenheim and Vickers Wellington led the charge. The Wellington, with its unique geodetic airframe, was surprisingly tough. However, as German fighter defenses improved, it became clear that Britain needed bigger, more powerful bombers to survive the long, dangerous missions, leading to the dominance of the 4-engine heavies. Air power wasn't just limited to land. Control of the seas was absolutely vital for an island nation like Britain. This is where naval aviation comes in. Aircraft operating from carriers and coastal bases had to protect vital convoys, hunt submarines, and attack enemy warships. One of the most remarkable stories is that of the Fairey Swordfish. It was a biplane torpedo bomber that looked like a relic from a bygone era, earning it the affectionate nickname Stringbag. But this outdated-looking plane achieved legendary status. In a daring night attack at Taranto, a small group of swordfish crippled the Italian fleet. They also played a huge role in hunting German U-boats in the Atlantic. To provide air cover for the fleet, the Royal Navy adapted the Spitfire for carrier operations, creating the Supermarine Sea. It was a fast and agile fighter that defended convoys from air attacks and gave the Navy its own high-performance interceptor. Beyond the carriers, amphibious aircraft and patrol bombers were the eyes and ears of the fleet. The quirky-looking Supermarine Walrus could land on water and was often launched from battleships to spot for naval guns and perform search and rescue missions. And then there was the Short Sunderland, a massive flying boat known as the Flying Porcupine for its heavy defensive armament. These planes patrolled the vast expanses of the Atlantic, hunting U-boats and protecting the lifelines that kept Britain in the war. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the unsung heroes of the air war, the transport and training aircraft. Before a pilot could fly a Spitfire or a Lancaster, they had to learn the ropes. The de Havilland Tiger Moth, a classic biplane, was the primary trainer for thousands of Allied pilots. It was simple, reliable, and taught the fundamental skills of flying. For more advanced training, pilots moved on to aircraft like the Airspeed Oxford, which prepared crews for multi-engine bombers and complex navigation tasks. Once trained, moving troops and supplies was critical. The Douglas Dakota, an American design used widely by the British, was the workhorse of air transport. It ferried soldiers, dropped paratroopers, and delivered essential equipment to every theater of war, from the beaches of D-Day to the jungles of Burma, for silent surprise attacks. The British developed massive gliders like the Airspeed Horsa. These unpowered aircraft were towed into the air and then released to glide silently behind enemy lines, delivering troops and equipment with stunning precision during operations like the Normandy landings and Operation Market Garden. One of the defining features of British aviation in World War II was relentless technological innovation. As the Germans began bombing Britain at night, the RAF needed a way to fight back in the dark. This led to the development of airborne radar, which was fitted to night fighters like the Bristol Beaufighter and the incredible de Havilland Mosquito. The Mosquito was a masterpiece of engineering, nicknamed the Wooden Wonder because it was built almost entirely of plywood. This made it incredibly light and astonishingly fast. It was so versatile that it excelled as a night fighter, a reconnaissance plane, and a high-speed bomber that could outrun almost any enemy fighter. And as the war neared its end, Britain ushered in a new era of aviation, the jet age. The Gloucester Meteor became the Allies' first operational jet fighter. It entered service in 1944 and was primarily used to intercept German V-1 flying bombs. While it didn't see widespread combat against enemy aircraft, the Meteor marked a revolutionary step forward and laid the groundwork for all modern jet fighters. From airborne radar to jet propulsion, British ingenuity constantly adapted to new threats and pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Looking back, the story of British aircraft in World War II is a story of incredible diversity and strategic genius. Each aircraft was a piece of a larger puzzle. The nimble Spitfire engaged in deadly dogfights, the mighty Lancaster delivered devastating blows to the heart of the enemy, the rugged Swordfish protected the vital sea lanes, and the humble Tiger Moth trained the next generation of heroes. This incredible range of aircraft, from fighters and bombers to transports and trainers, showcases a nation's commitment to innovation and resilience under the most extreme pressure. They weren't just machines of war. They were symbols of courage and a testament to the engineering brilliance that helped secure Allied victory. The legacy of these incredible planes continues to inspire us to this day. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look into aviation history, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the past. Let me know in the comments which of these legendary aircraft is your favorite. See you next time.